Ja, ja. This is the most terrifying virus in the world. Once it comes into contact with fresh blood, the virus will immediately start to divide. Then it proliferates infinitely, and each division makes the color lighter and lighter. Seeing that the virus was about to burst out of the container, the doctor quickly took out the refrigerant and sprayed it on the virus, which stopped the spread of the virus. This virus specializes in animals. Once someone is infected by it, it will continue to divide in the body until the host is completely cold. But this virus is very principled. As long as you watch the video, it will not hurt you. It turned out that just now the man discovered the target sample next to the corpse on the moon. But when he leaned over to get it, he accidentally pressed the corpse's chest, causing a large amount of viruses to invade his body from the corner of his eyes. At first, everything was normal for the man, but on the way back to the base, water began to leak from his ears, and even his vision became very blurry. He resisted and sat on the stool, and then the first scene appeared. Everyone was at a loss when they saw the man spraying water crazily. Only the captain hurriedly dialed the emergency number. Soon, heavily armed emergency personnel rushed over. They first moved the man to the bed. Seeing that he was about to choke to death, the doctor quickly cut open his organs and inserted a tube for him to breathe. But who knew the next second? Seeing this situation, the doctor wanted to seize the last moment to conduct a blood test on the man, but he couldn't think of anything as clear as boiled water. After a while, the man shed his last tear, and this is the most terrifying virus in the world. Once it comes into contact with fresh blood, the virus will immediately start to divide. Then it proliferates infinitely.
Já sei. Damn, son, where'd you find Changes here, nothing for MW2 and MW. We're going through the full Season 5 notes for Warzone here. If you guys are new to the channel, maybe you have not subscribed yet, we should change that. That's what the devs mentioned they wanted to focus on here, but solid buff for the AK, you just got to be able to control it, and that'll be really, really good. Aims, range buff across the board, that's solid. AS Val gets some hefty buffs. I think we're going to see an AS Val meta here. Range buffs across the board, headshot multiplier buff, lower torso and leg multiplier buff, better velocity too. Recoil springs is going to make the gun even easier. So the AS Val is going to be a big benefit of this update here. This is going to be a really good rifle for this upcoming season. The AMAX gets some range buffs, velocity buffs, flinch buff as well. Model L range buff and velocity buff. C9 gets a range buff as well. Jackal gets some range buffs and an ADS speed improvement. Compact gets an ADS speed improvement. KSV headshot multiplier buff. Ladra range buffs here. Headshot multiplier buff, ADS speed improvement as well. Solid there. The LC10.
Weapons free, people. Hostile UAV
really good rifle for this upcoming season. The AMAX gets some range buffs, velocity buffs, as well. Headshot multiplier buff, lower torso and leg multiplier buff, better velocity 2, recoil of sprint is going to make the gun even easier. So the AS Val is going to be a big benefit. Of course, that's what the devs mentioned we'll focus on here, but solid buff for the AK. You just got to be able to control it, and that'll be really, really good. Aims, range buff across the board. That's solid. AS Val gets some hefty buffs. I think we're going to see an AS Val meta here. Range buffs across the board. Headshot multiplier buff. Lower torso and leg multiplier buff. Better velocity 2. Recoil of springs is going to make the gun even easier. So the AS Val is going to be a big benefit of this update here. This is going to be a really good rifle for this upcoming season. The AMAX gets some range buffs, velocity buffs, flinch buff as well. Model L range buff and velocity buff. C9 gets a range buff as well. Jackal gets some range buffs and an ADS speed improvement. Compact gets an ADS speed improvement. KSV headshot multiplier buff. Ladra range buffs here. Headshot multiplier buff, ADS speed improvement as well. Solid there. The LC10 does get nerfed here. Range nerfed across the board, so that's important. Headshot multiplier nerf, arm multiplier nerf, torso and leg multiplier nerf, ADS speed slowed down. So the LC10 does get knocked down a little bit. It's probably still going to be usable, especially in that first damage range, maybe even out to 20 meters, but it's not going to be the definitive #1 choice anymore. So that's good news there. PPSH headshot multiplier buff, ADS speed buff. SOG lower torso and leg multiplier buff, ADS speed buff. Tanto torso and leg multiplier buff. Marine SP sprint to fire time improved. GPMG headshot multiplier buff. Upper torso and arm multiplier buff, velocity buff. Same deal in the PU21, and then XMG lower torso multiplier buff, velocity buff as well. XMG is going to hit like a truck still. AEK full auto headshot multiplier, upper torso and arm multiplier, so that'll kill faster. SWAT 556 growl conversion. Max damage range nerfed, unfortunately. Mid damage range nerfed. Velocity nerfed a tad bit. The growl is still going to be good over long range, but it's not going to be as good as it was last season. That's a little disappointing, I can't lie, as a growl enthusiast. AMR mod 4, ADS speed buff, velocity buff, that's big. HDR nerfed because they recognize it's the obvious #1 choice. They want to bring it in line with some other snipers, so ADS speed slowed down a little bit, velocity also nerfed a little bit. LR762 range has been buffed, so its one-shot headshot range is going to be extended further out. Same deal with the frost line. We're going to have to see what we can stack fully with attachments to get that new max range, but it will be further out there. Also on the frost line, better velocity and ADS speed. Seer 9mm gets a slight range buff, ADS speed buff, sprint to fire buff as well. So interesting weapon changes here. Nothing for MW2 and MW3 guns, but a lot of buffs for the mid to long range, and then SMG damage buffs and mobility buffs is always solid too. Weapon level display improvements, same deals over in multiplayer. It's easier to see how many weapon levels you have left. Friendly field upgrade indicators. The deployable cover trophy system and recon drone now have a blue indicator there when being used by your friendlies. Challenge adjustments. Set up a UAV tower to properly count towards challenges that require players to be under the effect of a UAV. Updated the Fang, Diamond, and Dark Matter camo challenges. Expanded the requirements for unique camo challenges that require kills on most wanted. So kills on bounty targets will now also count. That's really good news there. You don't have to rely on the most wanteds that never spawn in game, basically. Then we've got bug fixes. We're going to rapid fire these as always. They fixed an issue causing fewer than expected ATVs to spawn in Battle Royale. An issue preventing an ammo depot station from spawning in in a police station in Riverside. An issue causing players to get stuck on connecting in queue after selecting play again. And an issue where launcher type weapons were not tracking kills correctly when ADS'd. They also fixed an issue where the S&D contract could target a non-existent buy station. An issue where the spring mine could remain lethal after a player left the match. An issue causing the growl conversion to be an incompatible attachment at times. In ranked, they fixed an issue where the lobby walk would stop playing and display a black screen instead. An issue in ranked where players could become semi-soft locked in the queue after attempting to join someone in a different playlist. Then UI updates. An issue with the Ares clear shot optic not displaying a glint, so that'll be nerfed in a sense. An issue with thermal optics not functioning properly. An issue causing weapon previews to fail to display. An issue where the specialist perk appeared twice in the UI. An issue where the loadout drop icon appeared on the squad widget when you didn't actually have enough money. Then also various issues with pros and cons on MW2 and MW3 weapons. And that is everything that ended up changing in Season 5 across multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone. That's going to wrap things up. Full update drops tomorrow. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to drop a like on it. And on your way out,
Enemy soldier incoming. Enemy dropping into the AR. All stations, green light. Resurgence. Survive and your team can win the fight. Eliminate deployment time. Enemies are dropping into the area. Watch the skies. Enemy UAV overhead. You're in the top 10. Keep knocking them down. We've got 10 squads active in the field.
Ready to business.
Redeploying.
Taking fire.
Yeah. Vale, mata el sol.
For all the girls who don't fully trust their boyfriend, here's something better than going through his messages. If you ever get that gut feeling something's off, don't waste time checking his phone. Just take his phone number and run it through Clarity Check. It's a reverse phone lookup tool that shows all his dating profiles, secret accounts, usernames, and linked profiles they thought you'd never find. Seriously, I don't know how people don't know this is a thing, because you should. It takes 2 minutes and the stuff it pulls up, crazy.
How do I get up there? Oh, that didn't make it.
Where's the staircase?